This video is going to be about niacin, also known as vitamin B3. Now, niacin is a series of different chemicals that play the role of B3. Essentially, it's a group of precursors for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, which is also known as NAD. NAD is the sole substrate of PARP enzymes and sirtuins involved in DNA repair, which is required for genomic stability, which delays aging. This is the heart of the concepts behind the informational theory of aging of Dr. Sinclair, David Sinclair. Now, it doesn't have to be, NMN. Regular niacin works too. Okay, and I'm going to get into this. And also tryptophan, which may be the safest way to get niacin. Tryptophan is converted into niacin. Tryptophan is an amino acid. Most amino acids are extremely safe when taken, and even high doses, generally speaking. But I want to make sure that people understand, before I go further into this video, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a chiropractor, I'm not a nurse, I'm nothing. I'm a dude on YouTube making videos. Don't take medical advice from me. There will be a similar disclaimer in the description. Don't take medical advice from me. If you have a health concern, go seek the advice of a licensed healthcare provider. Not me. I'm not somebody that gives health advice. Nothing in this video should be taken as me telling you to do this or do that. It's not. I'm just making a video for entertainment purposes only. So, as stated, niacin is a group of precursors for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, or NAD. NAD is the sole substrate of PARP enzymes and sirtuins involved in DNA repair, which is required for genomic stability, which delays aging. Pellagra is the late stage of niacin deficiency. Pellagra is associated with a cereal grain-centered diet. However, pellagra was uncommon in Mexico, where the mainstay of the diet was actually corn. This has to do with the fact that a lot of cereal grains actually do have niacin in them, particularly corn has quite a bit of niacin. However, it's bonded to other things in the corn, but the mexticalization process, I think I said that right, mexticalization, it's a system of soaking the corn kernels in lye, helps to release the niacin and makes the protein and the vitamins and things in the corn more easily absorbable by the body. And that's why pellagra was unknown in Mexico. Pellagra may result from inadequate intake of NAD precursors, including tryptophan, meaning the amino acid tryptophan. Niacin deficiency is associated today with alcoholism, homelessness, anorexia nervosa, obesity, and the standard American diet of fast food and snack foods, as well as deficiencies in other B vitamins and trace minerals. Now, I wrote all this down. This is from a number of resources, but primarily from the Linus Pauling Institute of Oregon State University, which I have put primarily in my own words. Symptoms of deficiency affect the skin, digestive, and nervous systems. These are the symptoms of pellagra. And these include the 3 Ds, dermatitis, diarrhea, and dementia, followed, of course, by a 4th D, death. The skin may become thick and scaly. A darkly pigmented rash might develop. Digestive symptoms include vomiting, constipation, abdominal pain, and ultimately diarrhea. Neurological symptoms include headache, apathy, fatigue, depression, disorientation, memory loss, delirium, and hallucinations. The recommended daily allowance for niacin in adults is 16 milligrams for men and 14 milligrams for women. Disease prevention through NAD stabilizing of the genome. It seems niacin helps to prevent cancer, which requires genetic instability to take place. Therefore, niacin being a precursor of NAD helps to effectively create genomic homeostasis, which means balance of the genome, and genomic stability, which keeps the genome as the genome should be, which helps prevent the carcinogenic origins, which would cause cancer. Niacin through NAD keeps bone marrow healthy and seems to prevent leukemia. Pharmacological dosages of niacin may improve dermal, which means skin health, and improve the resistance to UV sensitivity and reduce photoaging. Niacin, actually that's how I was first made aware of niacin supplementation, was through The Wrinkle Cure by Dr. Nicholas Perricone. Niacin responsive genetic disorders. NAD deficiency related to disorders result in genomic instability, which results in mutation. Nicotinamide may help. Nicotinamide is one of the many forms of supplemental niacin available on the market. Nicotinamide may help prevent and reverse NAD plus depletion, meaning it may help if somebody has a genetic disposition to run out of NAD plus. It may help replete the NAD plus and help halt the depletion process. Helps prevent cardiovascular disease. It reduced cardiovascular events such as infarctions with immediate release nicotinic acid. Immediate release nicotinic acid is the old school niacin, which was used to lower cholesterol back before the days of statins. It lowers cholesterol, bad cholesterol, the LDL, and raises the HDL, the good cholesterol. So, immediate release nicotinic acid was, it reduced the amount of cardiac events by 27% and reduced cerebrovascular events, strokes, by 10% in double-blinded studies. It treats genetic ataxia, schizophrenia. The reason this is interesting is this is the heart and soul of orthomolecular psychiatry. This was the pet vitamin of Dr. Abraham Hoffer, which he used to effectively cure people with schizophrenia. Schizophrenia seemingly by correcting the lipid metabolism issues, nicotinic acid, which is one of the chemicals that is called niacin or vitamin B3, seems to aid with mental health functioning related to schizophrenia. The flushing response, meaning when you take immediate release nicotinic acid, you will flush. You'll turn bright red and get itchy and have paresthesia and things like that. It's perfectly harmless in most people, but that is a side effect of niacin. That is blunted in individuals with schizophrenia and in individuals that have a parent or sibling with schizophrenia, meaning that it seems like they need a lot more niacin. They need it because it's not causing the effects of an overdose, which would be the flushing and the paresthesia and the, that type of thing. Food sources of niacin include lean animal-based proteins, meat, fish, and fowl, cereals, unfortified and fortified, lentils, lima beans, whole wheat bread, and brewed coffee. Toxicity has been reported with doses as low as 500 milligrams per day, but generally only takes place with doses which exceed. Now, remember, generally takes place. I shouldn't have said generally only takes place, but most of the cases of toxicity have taken place in dosages which exceed 10 grams a day. So not 500 milligrams, but 10,000 milligrams per day of niacin, particularly of nicotinic acid, which was used to treat high cholesterol and to help balance blood lipids. That seems to be the situations in which toxicity is most reported. Toxicity is characterized as flushing. That's the most obvious and least harmful. It's characterized as flushing, which is temporary and harmless, but with large doses, particularly over a long period of time, it can result in jaundice, liver damage, permanent liver damage, and liver disease. The tolerable upper limit is set at 35 milligrams per day. Now remember, this is to avoid the flushing. Remember that the toxicity was reported at 10,000 milligrams a day, not 35 milligrams a day. This upper limit is designed to prevent the flushing effect of the niacin, niacin toxicity. So that's why that's so low. If you're wondering, well, how come it says that most of it takes place at 10,000 milligrams, but the safe upper limit by the government is set at 35 milligrams? That's why. It's because it's about the flushing effect, not the liver damage and things like that. It interacts with vitamin C, E, selenium, which is a mineral, and beta-carotene, which reduce the protective effects of nicotinic acid on blood lipid profile through an as of yet non-understood mechanism. Large doses may reduce the excretion of uric acid, which can result in gout in people that are genetically predisposed to gout. Taking lipid-lowering drugs, such as statins with nicotinic acid, can result in myopathy, which is a muscle disease. People might know about cardiomyopathy. Many drugs may interfere with niacin absorption, including estrogen and contraceptive drugs, especially those which contain estrogen, and hormone replacement therapies. This is when supplementation with tryptophan, L-tryptophan, might be necessary, because L-tryptophan is then converted into niacin. So tryptophan is also a form of niacin, but it is an amino acid. It seems also to be the safest way to get a higher dose of niacin. Niacin is not a B vitamin that I take an awful lot of. I get what's in my multivitamin and I get what's in my B complex, but I do not take exorbitantly high amounts of niacin, primarily because I don't want to risk the liver issues that could occur. Now, again, I want to remind people, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not anything like that. This video is not meant to be taken as medical advice. I'm not telling you to do or not do anything. This video is for entertainment purposes only. A similar disclaimer will be in the description of the video.